Hey guys, Lessons on back here. We're gonna be doing some, if you would, easy potato and ham soup. Um, it's just becoming a spring again. It's kind of nice, but it's still a little cold, and a good cold spring evening deserves a nice warm potato and ham soup. Now I'm combining some things that I've learned over the years of watching my grandparents make it, as well as my mother, and then also what I read online is using a certain style of cooking, which basically just boiling everything together. And I've seen it where people actually just boil the potatoes first. Me, for instance, I just whip everything together. You already know that. In a lot of my cooking videos, I whip everything together, which is kind of nice. Um, but the basic ingredients you need are onions, potatoes, and ham. Ham's on sale, which is kind of nice for what I got. It's a pretty decent price. Like $10 for 9 pounds. It's kind of nice. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna combine all these together. I'm gonna show you what we have extra, which includes a can of cream of celery or cream of broccoli, and we'll add that to the soup as well. And we're gonna use stock as well as milk, because I like a good creamy, very creamy soup. So let's get to it, guys. Now we got our potatoes here. Our potatoes here, we're basically doing is risotto potatoes. And we have 2, 4, 6, 8 potatoes. I love the good potatoes in my potato soup, of course. 3 onions, and we're gonna cut some of this ham right here and add that to our soup. Now, one thing you wanna make sure you do first is wash your potatoes. You don't have to peel the potatoes. I don't. Nothing's wrong with having peeled potato, but make sure it is at least washed, because all that dirt right here that could contain diseases or whatever. So make sure that you wash your potatoes, and then we're gonna dice these, and we're gonna dice these as well, and then dice cubes of the ham in there as well. So for as far as the ingredients that we are gonna add to everything is gonna be the carrot broccoli, roasted garlic seasoning, seasoned salt, and the whole thing of vegetable broth like Meyer. I go to Meyer because it has a good quantity of things. It has decent prices, and the other thing too is just having the stuff there that you need for soups or salads, meals from Meyer are great ideas. So this right here, basically, we're gonna use this entire thing right here, 4 cups. So it's, you make sure you look at your servings. We have 4 servings equal each or 1 cup, right? So when it says, a recipe says make sure you have 4 or 5 cups. You can have literally one of these be your 4 cups. And to add with this, I'll be basically adding milk because we have the Korean broccoli soup. So this is condensed soup. So this is being condensed. Make sure you add to it. Okay. So on the can, we read here that basically mixed soup with 1 can of water or milk is preferred. So basically that's where the milk comes in, is we're mixing this together with this, and a lot of people are just like, oh, but that's going to ruin the taste. And I personally have not met any soup that when you mix the broth with the soup or the cream or milk ruins it. So I guess it all depends on the preference of the person. But yes, so not a lot of extra hardcore seasonings because we don't want to ruin the flavor, because the ham itself is going to bring tons of flavor, so the onions, and then we have potatoes. So let's get to cutting and get it ready. So when I bought the ham, I thought it was just a standard ham, but apparently it's a spiral sliced ham already. So the slices are there, but you can still make that into your chunks if you would. So we did large chunks of ham, so that thick. So there's that, and then I'll show you how the pot looks right now. So this is what your pot should look like. You have your chunks of your meat in here, chunks of your onions, and it looks pretty full. It is pretty full, but from here we're just gonna add the stock broth in here. We'll add the can of soup in here, and then we'll mix it all together. It might be difficult to just mix, but again, we're gonna have it evaporating as well. So we add the full thing of broth. It doesn't cover it, that's fine. What we're trying to do is cover mostly the potatoes. The potatoes gotta make sure they cook engulfed in liquid. So if the stock broth doesn't do the job, okay, so we add water or milk preferred. Because again, we're adding the other soup as well. But also we're gonna add about, I'm gonna say 3 tablespoons, 2 of seasoned salt. So we're gonna do this much. About 2 tablespoons right there. And then we have our roasted garlic, which we're gonna do about a tablespoon, maybe about half, tablespoon and a half. Like that. Again, we're gonna add the soup after we're gonna mix this a little bit together, and then we'll add the milk as well. Now again, since we have the still not encompassing the potatoes, but again, make sure you level it up to where you need to get the potatoes engulfed in liquid, because the potatoes need to be engulfed in liquid in order to cook. Okay, now we did about 1.5 cups of milk in here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on high, and then we're gonna cover it. We're gonna cover it is basically the heat basically go through the entire pan here, and just kind of like set it all in there, and it'll help get the bubbling going, get the boiling going on the potatoes, and hopefully get this done sooner than later. It takes about half an hour, normally an hour, to get this stuff ready after you boil it. So let's get cooking. One thing about the soup though is when you're cooking it, make sure you're stirring it every maybe 10 minutes or so, because you did add the milk to it. You want to be scalding to the edges or burnt the edges or the bottom. So you consistently making the milk turn, if you would, continually turn that milk, and then the cream of broccoli I put in there. Yeah, there's a lot of cream in there, so you make sure we continue to mix that up, because otherwise it'll burn it. But make sure that you also give time for the potatoes to cook properly and efficiently by keeping it in the liquid long enough to, to set for about 5-10 minutes, and then turn, keep going. So now when it starts bubbling, though, make sure you put it on medium. Because if you have it on high, like I did, you're going to have it boil over and get all over your not so pretty anyways oven. But you just want to stir a little bit. So again, you don't want it to catch the bottom. But basically we have it pretty much halfway done. It's starting to boil. So we have it down to about 4, which is about medium on our end. And yeah, just let it continue to boil. Do not cover it again. Alright, soup seems to be done. You gotta pour it out. One thing I know that helps me know when the potatoes are ready, basically you put your fork in and it glides right in. Like, that is a good potato right there. It's a good spud, if you would. And make sure you go through at least 3 or 4 of them. Go throughout and see it fall apart. That's a good potato. Just right. Nice and smooth. Now the onions are a little more done than I want them, but that's because they've been in here for a while. But yeah, the onions are pretty much done. But they're more for flavor, I would assume, not texture. So I'll let this cool off, then we'll do a taste test. All right, let's try this now. Still pretty hot, but I can't wait. Yeah, see how this goes. I'll probably hear the comments below. You didn't do it right. Well, this is my way of making potato soup, and I'll learn by my mistakes. So if there's mistakes I made, then I'll make sure to re-correct them. Well, I did try the broth. It is a bit more salty than I expected it to be, But other than that, it smells delicious so far. Mmm. It's not bad. It's not the way my mom used to make it, but it's still decent, pretty good. The potatoes again are falling apart, which is the way I want them to be, and the ham is just about right. It's not too chunky. I like the thin. I wish I had gotten the chunk though, but I think I would have made more time cutting it. I think, but overall, the flavor of the potatoes took in a lot of the cream, so you get very much of a creamy potato, and then the ham just kind of dissolves the rest of its flavor in there. So you have the salt from the ham, from the can of broccoli, canned broccoli, and the garlic that we put in there, and the seasoned salt. Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. So, if you want more ingredients, directions, whatever, feel free to comment down below. And yeah, subscribe, the like button, and let's hope this works out again next time. So, Life on Lasagna say, thank you so much for your time. I'll see you next time. Peace and love.